let's actually launch VS Code. So if I right click, so I want to launch VS Code inside of this project X folder, and I am on a VDI, so that means I'm connected to a school computer somewhere. So if I launch this, if I right click, show more options, open with Visual Studio. That's not right. This Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio, is different from VS Code. So there's no VS Code here, but I have VS Code. If I type code, I can see that there is Visual Studio Code. So I can launch that and then I can change folder, but I really prefer to doing it this way. So in order to get that running, what I can do is I can go into my terminal again, and I can give you this cheat code, which is basically, it's going to I'll put this on the side. So if you run this, it's going to add to the registry a certain command that makes this available at C program files Microsoft VS Code. So that the path needs to be that, which I know it is, since I can do code, or I can do GCM code and pipe this to format list to see that it is at C program Microsoft VS Code bin code. So it's yeah, it is this one. Well, close enough. There is a code.exe at least. I tried this before, so it works. So if I do show more, I can open with code. So this is a very useful way of launching VS Code. So in here I can do trust all the authors of this parent folder downloads. Yeah, why not? There's I have no trust issue with myself. Good. So now I'm inside VS Code. I can launch the terminal by doing Control to get PowerShell up and running here. Of course, I have UV, right? If I do version, I have UV. That's good. So now what I want to do here is I want to create a new file called Python. So for now, I'm going to show you how to run Python within VS Code. So in here we can do the standard thing, print hello world. And there we go. So I want to launch this from my default virtual environment. So down here you can see that there is a Python version. So if you can click there, you can sort of see which virtual environments are existing. So now we are running this. The one that is pre-selected is the global Python installation, and there are several of them. Like the one you've installed is in this local bin, and the tilde here means just that it's your user profile. And here it says actually default. So it is VM's default scripts. That's the one we want to use. So we can select that. And once it says this here, then what we can do is we can run this Python file, and it's going to run it. Here it says it's running it from the VMs. It's activating the VMs, and it's running it from our default virtual environment, and it outputs hello world, and it also changed to our default virtual environment here, which we didn't have before. So this didn't say default, but now it does. So it's sort of in sync now, and also it has launched a new terminal for us. We can add more here. So if you do that, it's going to add, and here if we have the Python file open, VS Code will automatically see that. It will check, okay, you're running this, then I will activate this for you. So it does us a favor here. So that's cool. Now we can run Python files from here. I mean, we can do very advanced stuff like print and an f string, and I can say 1 + 1 is equal to, and then I can do 1 + 1 here, and we can run this, and it outputs 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Great, math works. Okay, now Jupyter Notebook. So what we can do is do F1, or you can also do Control-Alt-P, no, Control-Shift-P, Control-Shift-P, and then we can write Jupyter, and then it says create new Jupyter notebook. So yeah, we can actually, you know what, I have one prepared for you, so let me grab that. So here we go. I've just inserted this hello.ypnb, and if I double click it, it gets opened. And what I can see here, it has been previously run, and it actually saves this within the file. So I have not yet run this on this system. It's just had it the output saved. So what I can do here now is I can just view this, because I have not yet installed any things that I need to be able to run Jupyter Notebook files. So the first thing I can do is select the kernel. So I can click here, and it suggests, because this is a fresh install, that I need to install and enable the suggested extension Python Jupyter. So I click that, and it's installing the Python Jupyter. Then it browses for the Python environments. So I can click there, and it sort of has star marked the default one, which is awesome. So I can click it, and now it's using the default Python environment, and I can do allow. So that's good. So now I should be able to run things. So what I want to do is I want to clear all outputs here, just get rid of everything, and I want to do restart. I don't really need to, because I can see here that these cells, they are 1, 2, 3 code cells, have not been executed yet. And this cell here, it's a markdown cell. So I can double click it, and I can view the markdown, and I can press run cell here, or okay, stop editing. So this is a little bit of LaTeX and text. There's a squiggly line here, and it's not that import SymPy could not be resolved from source Pylance. So it means that, hey, you know what, this is going to give you an error. You cannot run this because SymPy, I cannot find SymPy. What is SymPy? But for now, let's click on the cell and do Control Enter, so you can run this. And before you can do that, it's say running cells with default requires IPython kernel and pip package. So our default virtual environment does not have these. So do you want to change the kernel or install this? Let's do install. So it's going to install this into our default virtual environment. All right, so now this has been done. It has run. We can see that it is run because we have 1 here, meaning that this has run, and the output is here. Now, if we try to run this, we will get module not found error. So no module named SymPy. So what we need to do here is let's say we don't have our terminal, so we can launch our terminal. You can also launch the terminal from here, new terminal. And it has detected default, otherwise we would need to activate it. And now we can do uv pip install SymPy. So now SymPy is installed here, and we should be able to run this. It takes a little while for Pylance to identify that this is done. So now this is the third thing that has been run, and the output is down below here. And that is why we like to use Jupyter Notebooks, because they are portable. So we can run Python code, we can run Markdown, we can save this, Control S, save. We can close this down, and next time we open it, we can see that the previously run stuff is still there. I mean, we saw this even when our system didn't really have all of these packages installed. There was no Python connection or anything like that, because these files save the output inside them. So they're very shareable in that way, which is why Jupyter Notebook is it's still a standard. And we will use it to generate reports. We will use it to generate animations and stuff, which are displayable inside of the actual files themselves. That is what I wanted to show you. So just to summarize, you can start VS Code by right-clicking in your project folder. You can now you see what has been installed, and all of this that has been installed is in extensions. So in here, in your extensions, you have Jupyter that is installed. You have Python, probably installed Python for us. I'm not certain. Yeah, so you can, if you go to Python, you can see that it has been installed. Pylance is installed. Pylance is the stuff that actually helps you out and says like, yeah, you don't have this or that, or it gives you a little bit of code completion. So if you do SP here, it sort of shows you that there's something called SP, and if I do dot, then it shows you what it actually contains, bunch of SP stuff. That is what Pylance does. You don't really need to go in here. VS Code should be able to tell you that you're missing certain things and prompt you to install that. That is exactly what has happened here. So now we have several ways of interfacing with Python. We have Marimo. We can interface to Python using the terminal. Actually, just launch Python from here, and then we can do commands. Not that this is what you should be doing ever, but you can. You can definitely launch. You can do Python and do. Why did I call this file python.py? Let's change that. So you can right-click and rename and call it hello. It doesn't really make sense for it to be called Python, but yeah. So now we can do down here we have Python, and then we can do hello, and then tab for auto completion. Not that one, this one. Enter, and it's running that for us. So this is one way of running files as well from within the terminal, because the output gets generated inside the terminal, as we have seen before. So even if we close everything down and we do run Python file, it's going to open a terminal and run it in there for us. Okay, lengthy video, I know, but I wanted to make sure that everything is in place for us. Good. Now you know more. See you later.